Hello. Het. I meant to say hey. Het. It's the Perla Wisdom Show. And Lauren's in the house right off the bat. Boom. How's it going, buddy? John Weichel in the house, too. Right on. Thanks for coming in, guys. I gotta check. I did a video for our, what do we got here? Bounce back players. I did 2 TikToks. Not doing too bad. But I did the video for the questions one for Anaheim to Montreal today. I just haven't put it out either tonight or over the weekend or whatever. But get that going. That was really good. That was excellent. I like that. So we'll continue with that series as we get a couple people coming in here. I like that. That was really good stuff. Jack Eichel thing getting worse. Well, on a bright side, the Canadians signed Sami Niku. And that's whatever. Sami Niku's really bad. No, he's sick. He thought he'd feel better today, but he never did. He's been sick all week. So hopefully next week we'll have him on. I'm twittering here. I'm twittering. I just twittered. I just tweeted. Niku is a very bad defenseman. That is all. He's not very good. He is not a very good defenseman at all. The guy. He just. What do you say about Niku? He doesn't know when. He's like a poor man's Ristolainen. He doesn't know when to pinch. He's over aggressive when he shouldn't be. He looks lost out there, and he never did get better. He just never got better in Winnipeg. Who the heck is Roman Seeley? It's just say it's not looking good. Like if you ask me, I'd say he's not going to make it. He's just not getting it. He's like the Galchenyuk of defensemen. Sami Niku is like the Galchenyuk of defensemen. I'm gonna put that out there actually. Sami Niku is the Galchenyuk of defensemen. Yeah, but you got to see improvement, dude. It's one thing to I understand where you can make a pretty good assessment that a player is not going to make it before the 5 years. I mean, it can happen, but we're talking about percentages here. I just think it's a very small percentage chance from the way Niku has progressed that he makes it very, very small. And it is from 1 to 5 years, but like say you take a guy like Forbert, okay? When he first came in, when was he drafted? I gotta redo this again. Oh, Montreal Canadiens now are the most over the cap of anybody. He's 24. He was drafted in 2015. So he's on his 6th year now from the year he was drafted. And it's weird because he put up good numbers for the Manitoba Moose one year. And even 2020 he did for offense, but he just can't get the defense sorted out at all. Like, he was terrible in his own end. Hey, Kyle, how you doing, buddy? Thanks for coming in. I'm just saying, I like to make predictions. You know me. I'm not in the media where you got to baby everything because you're going to end up having to talk to these guys later. Like, I'm not going to talk to Sami Niku anytime soon. I don't hate Sami Niku for any reason, but I watched a lot of Sami Niku, and I never saw him progress much at all at the NHL level. He just never seemed to get it defensively, ever. Yeah, I mean, you can make that case, but it seems like Paul Maurice has done very well with defensemen. Why he wouldn't do a very good well with him, I'm not sure. Yeah, I know. Off the wall, John doesn't like being wrong. That's why. I don't care if I'm wrong. I'll be wrong sometimes. That's fine with me. I think it's fun. If I'm wrong, whatever. Like last year, I was wrong about Montreal all the way. I was wrong, I'm wrong. I still say that Montreal was a flash in the pan thing where everything just kind of went together for a year. I don't think they're going to be a good team last year. Yeah, John doesn't like predicting. I think it's fun. I think it's fun to predict. If I'm wrong about Sami Niku, good. I'm glad I'm wrong. I'm just saying that from what I've seen from Sami Niku, when you watch players develop and you see somebody like Sami Niku who basically just every year doesn't seem to get it, it's very rare that they eventually get it. It does happen, but it's rare. So when you're predicting something like that, you're not saying, well, there's no chance. No, there's always a chance. It's just saying that the percentage of chance is just very unlikely that Sami Niku is going to make it. Yeah, I think losing Weber is really what hurts Montreal the most. Losing Weber and you know, not Savard is not a serviceable replacement, and Danault too. Getting Dvorak is the most interesting one because you got to say when you watch Arizona and you watch Dvorak, he did play a really good two-way game, and it does appear that he's got more to give there. It does appear that there could be upside if he's playing with a better team. So he could have. It's possible that it is. I think it's possible that Bergevin knocked one out of the park there by getting Dvorak. So that could be pretty huge. But not having Weber hurts. Whether Price is going to be able to be okay this year or not, but that top line might save him anyways. And Drouin, Lauren made a prediction yesterday that Drouin will be the same that he always was, and he could be right. I mean, we've seen this before where a guy goes and he gets, help like some help or whatever, and he comes back and he's not really all that much better than he was before. So Marchana, I'm not sure. Yeah, like I don't know. I think it's possible for now. Like Dvorak could be a better option than Kotkaniemi at the moment. It's possible. Only 1 year. Yeah. But anyways, I was saying with Forbert, when Forbert first came in the league, he didn't look very good. He had a lot of work to do. But every time LA brought him up, he looked better and better and better. Even if just marginally a little bit better. But Niku almost regressed. He almost looked worse when they brought him up. So, but you're right, Lauren. He gets a different coach, working him a different way. Yeah, anything can happen, I guess. Yeah. I mean, yeah, well, especially goaltenders and defensemen as well. Hayden Fleury was supposed to be a lot better than he is right now, but he was able to. He did get better. Like you saw him slowly get noticeably better. Sami Niku did not get better. He didn't. In fact, I would even say that he got worse. So that's not usually a very good sign that a guy's going to make it. Yeah, I think you're right. 15 to 20 wins sounds about right. Yeah, McNabb got better in Vegas. It's not that he got better. He improved in LA though. He was improving in LA. Again, marginally. He didn't regress and get worse, McNabb. He just couldn't bang down the door to get a spot in LA, and then Vegas took him and he got some confidence, and that's it. Now, that's possible. For some reason, Sami Niku might have lost his confidence in Winnipeg. But when I watch Sami Niku, he looks like a guy who wants to be like one of the best offensive defensemen in the league, and he's just not. He's just not. Dermott got worse, yeah. Although I was never really high on Dermott, but he's pretty much exactly what I always thought he would be, like a seventh defenseman, something like that. But like you said, sometimes something will just click in players. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I can't remember who else was out there for them to pick. Yeah, I mean, like I said, there's always a chance. But if you're looking at a percentage of chance, I wouldn't put it high with Niku. I wouldn't put it high. It was like when Edmonton went and got Griffin Reinhart. I said the same thing. I was like, the chances of him making the NHL are like maybe 5 to 7%. Almost similar to Niku, but in a different way. Reinhart wouldn't be aggressive. He wouldn't be aggressive at all. Like, he was just timid out there. And they kept on telling him, we'd rather you be aggressive and make mistakes than be passive and make mistakes. And he just never got it. And he didn't look like the Islanders were saying the exact same thing. And you saw like no improvement whatsoever. In fact, the opposite. He regressed. And when you see that, it's not very often that they turn things around. Did he? Yeah, he played for the Flames for a little bit, yeah. Yeah, he just never got it. It was too bad. He had all the tools to be a very good defenseman. I mean, yeah, that's what Suzuki's game is going to be. I'm pretty sure Suzuki's going to be a third line, fourth line player. That's what he is. So he's being exactly what he is. He's just gotten bigger. He's probably bulked up. Look at Frost in Philadelphia. Frost in Philadelphia. He's gained 20 pounds and he's come in and he's looked way more aggressive. You just get bigger, and all of a sudden, like before, the thing with Frost is it looked like he was taking him a long time to make a decision. And I believe the reason why that was he was looking for a way to get in without killing himself, because he was too small to play the game that he needed to play. He gained 20 pounds this year, and he's getting into those spots now a lot better. He's more confident that he can go in there and not get totally ragdolled. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. Okay, what do we got? Connor Zary. There's something on Connor Zary here. Good news, bad news. The good news is that he won't require surgery on his ankle. Oh, no. Connor Zary hurt his ankle. Connor Zary broke his ankle in camp. That sucks for Zary. He had a killer season in the AHL. Seven points in 9 games with Stockton. Winnipeg Jets defenseman Dylan Samberg looks like he's going to make the lineup. No, he's not. He suffered a high ankle sprain, Dylan Samberg. Man, what are all these what's up with all these young guys suffering injuries? Suzuki, Dylan Samberg. Dylan Samberg now has a high ankle sprain. Allison in Philadelphia. Wow. That is too bad. Wayne Simmons got hurt too? Yeah, it's pretty good points in the AHL. I was actually not surprised, I guess. It was interesting to see last year. There was a lot of guys that played in the AHL that wouldn't have played in the AHL if it wasn't COVID, and a lot of them got a lot of good point production, which goes to show you that most of the time it's not the offense that keeps you from being in the NHL. It's the defense, because their plus minus didn't look good. I normally don't, I think plus minus does tell you something, and almost all of them had a poor plus minus, even though they had high offensive points. I'm just trying to remember who those players were. Oh, is it Holloway for Edmonton? I'm sure that I can't remember them all now, but that I wish they could do something where players could play in the AHL more than they do for their development, rather than going back to junior. Plus minus is one of your favorite stats. Why is that? I don't think it really says a lot. Like it can tell you something, but I think you really got to look at underlying stats to go with them to get a good idea, because there's a whole lot with plus minus that doesn't get taken into account. Oh God, McDavid playing in the AHL, that would be stupid. You get like 10 points a game. On a line perspective, I suppose it could tell you something, yeah. For like a whole line. Can tell you what the line is like, yeah. But, I mean, still say the possession stats are more important than plus minus stats. Because, yeah, a goaltender can let softies in, all kinds of stuff that can happen for plus minus. But if a line is driving in possession, as far as puck possession and zone possession, that's the kind of guy. That's what I want. And then if you throw in a high physicality to go with it, that's the ultimate line. Well, we'll see what they do next year, but I don't know. I don't know where the line would be with McDavid. I don't know. If that defense doesn't hold up and everything, and it falls apart, and they just keep on blumbering like this over and over again, eventually, just like Eichel or any other star would, eventually he's going to be like, "Get me the hell out of here." But the one thing good about Edmonton is they keep a really good energy on the team. That's one thing that they do have there. All right, we got 5 concurrents here now, so we can start doing our questions for each team again, and then that'll give us lots of stuff to talk about too. Well, Philadelphia is my other team. Carolina, of course. But, like, not based on what I'm a fan of. Oh, really? Top 50 players? Wow. What team? I would like, honestly, I would say Arizona. And that's just to keep Arizona in Arizona. But in the sense of what would it be like incredible to see him where he would be, where would it be that he could go to that would be just amazing to watch the talent that was playing with them or something like that from that perspective. Tampa Bay. Imagine McDavid and Kucherov together. McDavid and Kucherov. Holy man. That would be fun to watch. Colorado. Yeah, well, I mean, McKinnon and they sell him to LA for money. Yeah. Yeah. That would be just stupid, eh? You trade two of the greatest of all time, Gretzky and McDavid. All right, we finished off in Montreal. I just got to delete some stuff here. So next, I think we're on Nashville. Better get her going because I can't go over today. This is going to be a tough one. Biggest. If Tampa wanted McDavid, Edmonton would want Kucherov. Well, I think Edmonton would want Point. I'm pretty sure Kucherov has a no movement clause, and I just find it highly unlikely he's going to say yes to go to Edmonton. So, yeah. Well, I just don't think they could get Kucherov because I don't think Kucherov's going to waive his no movement clause to go to Edmonton, especially without McDavid there. Point, I don't know. Does Point have a no movement clause yet? I don't think he does. So that's Predators. Okay, yeah, Predators. Biggest question for the Predators. Will Nashville embrace rebuild? Because that's exactly what are happening. What we're doing, John, is we're doing 3 biggest questions if we can come up with 3 for every NHL team. And we started that. So we started with will Nashville embrace the rebuild? Looking at Nashville, maybe like how will, the biggest question for me is how will Cody Glass do? Yeah, when will Askarov come and save their pathetic franchise? My biggest question would be what will Cody Glass do? And that was a big trade. They traded Ellis. Hey CL, how you doing? Where will they get offense? I think is better. Like Tolvanen could be better. 100% Dork in the house. Wow, we're getting everybody here now. Holy. I gotta put you guys up on the. You give Glass top line minutes? Well, you might as well. You got him. I mean, you give Glass. I don't know what he did in Vegas. Like I don't know what he did, but like what made them think he wasn't good enough? What I don't know, attitude or whatever. I don't know, but. There's nothing about their offense. I know. Like Johansson is your number one center. That's why I say, what will Glass do? Their biggest acquisition to possibly pull in some offense was Glass. That's not really doing too much for you there. I like the will they embrace the rebuild because it just seems inevitable that there has to be a rebuild. It will sort of already happened, and you don't trade Ellis for a Myers. You know, it's pretty much ringing in. Yeah, it seems like he certainly got complacent. The thing about Duchesne is, I've heard it from several people. Like on several players that played with him, is that he's very complainy and whiny and stuff like that. So, terrible for a room and terrible for a player. You get down if you're down and whiny, you're not going to play your best, right? So, I think will Saros be able to hold up, I think. Or how will Myers do? How will Myers do? I think that's going to be interesting to see how Myers does in Nashville, a team that's kind of known for developing defensemen. Yeah, getting him to go into that gear is next to impossible. The last time we saw it, you know, when he went to Columbus there for a while, he looked like he was doing pretty good. And then ever since he went to Nashville, he's been just a disaster. Same as like when Turris was there. And how much longer does Poyle have? Yes. That is a very good one, CL. I don't know why I didn't say that one first, because I mean, if Poyle can make it to the time that Askarov comes in, he might end up extending his career for another 10 years. Who knows? But okay, Now we got to be on to the New Jersey Devils, right? There'll be a lot of questions about the New Jersey Devils, I imagine. Poyle should retire. He had his day. Devils. Yeah, Hamilton is probably the number one thing with New Jersey, right? How much does Hamilton improve the defense? You got a defense that's been pretty terrible, and now you bring in a guy like Hamilton. How much is that going to improve their team as far as moving the puck and all that kind of stuff like that? Is he one of those guys? Hamilton scares me. He could be one of those guys that gets the $9 million a year and starts skinnering it for the rest of his career. He could be one of those guys. Well, we kind of already saw how Ruff is done with young players last year. I would say he did pretty well with them. A lot of players had their best years last year. So I don't think Kyle Mercy's going to make it. Is he a Krug? Yeah. I don't know. I have a feeling that Hamilton could go to a Skinner now. How will Bernier do? How will Bernier do and Blackwood? Like, who's going to win the number one there? Ryan Graves, like, just how much better is that defense going to be? Because if that defense is significantly better, I'm telling you, this is a very good possibility that New Jersey could make the playoffs next year. I really think so. They're still pretty young, but there's a lot of guys. Has anybody else heard more about I heard that Miles Wood was on the block. I'm guessing that is money because he's going to be a restricted free agent next year. It's going to be better than it was last year, yeah. Yeah, I just have a feeling he could. He's got kind of that. I just heard a lot about a quirky personality and stuff like that, attitude. You haven't seen anything? Ricketts! Rickett. Dude, I messaged you a little while ago. I don't know if we're still trading picks or not. You got to let me know there because I still got picks for you if you want them. Rickett is, if you like, woo, wow. Yeah, check out Rickett's channel, man. You'll like Rickett's channel. You know what we haven't seen in a long time is Hockey News Reports. Wonder whatever happened to him. Oh, Hughes, that's a good one. How will Hughes do this season? Will Hughes break out this season? I like that. That's a good one. Okay, that's 3. So we're good for the Devils. Okay, buddy. I don't know if we were doing it still or not, but if you want to, it's a good thing. You must have like a sixth sense, Rickett, because I went through a bad spell with tennis until the U.S. Open, and then I started hitting like crazy. And now I'm back on the roll again with tennis. So, but that's great to hear about your son. By the way, if you want some of the finest sports picks in the land, Ricketts Picks, man. Right there. Go sub yourself up to that dude. I've been following Rickett ever since you had like 100 people. Right, Rick? Right. I've been following you ever since you had like 100 people. Love that guy. I think what we're doing right now, we got like lots of people in here right now. What we're doing right now is we're talking about the 3 questions, if we can find 3 most intriguing things. Oh yeah, I got 800. I actually got 803, and then I guess I pissed off the 3 that I got because they all left on me. I got 803, and then they all left in one day. It was like, I'm having enough of that bald old a-hole. Anyways, New Jersey Devils now, I guess it would be the New York Rangers, right? Oh, there's lots of questions about the Rangers. We have to wait around till we get to Seattle, John. I have like, everybody has a gift. You know what I mean? You know how they say that everybody has a gift? My gift apparently is pissing people off. Some people are doctors, some people can throw balls, some people are basketball players. I piss people off. New York Rangers. Yeah, I know. I don't, it doesn't bother me a bit. Oh, I've never pissed you off. Wow. So we're probably the group of people that piss everybody else off. That's why. That's why we hang out all the time. Okay, Rangers. Jeez. New York Rangers still got freaking $10 million in cap space. Who do they still have to sign? Do they still got to? Oh, they got to sign Zibanejad and Strome. Okay. Biggest question marks or most intriguing thing. Them's water sports. Yeah. Goaltending is a question of what? Why you don't think Shesterkin's going to rock it? Yeah. It's a good thing you put the from in that question, because if you didn't, that would be a really awkward sentence. Laffy's a big thing. How good is Laffy going to be, man? Is Laffy going to rock it? I think it's possible that Kako could be like Palat. He reminds me of Palat. I think he could be a lot like that, which I think for the Rangers, they might take that as a bit of a disappointment. But, I mean, I think that would be all right. Really? I think Shesterkin's going to rock it, dude. Yeah, Laffy, will he? I am positive Lafreniere will live up to his first pick. I'm not sure still he's going to be the best player of that draft, but I think he will live up to that. Who did I have as... Who the heck else was in that draft now? So that's been twice. So we'll look at Z and Panarin hit 100 again. Z and Panarin hit 100 points, question mark. That's a good one. I like that. How about Byfield Stützle, right? That's what it was. Byfield Stützle. I thought I was kind of on the Stützle train in that draft. I'd have to look at it again. I can't remember. But I really like Stützle. Can Adam Fox win again? Byfield, Perfetti, Rossi, and Drysdale. Can Adam Fox do it again? How about that? Do you like that one? Can Fox win another one? Oh, or I was thinking of that one too. Gaudreau live up to the money? That's a good one. Let's see that. Sweet. This is what I'm talking about, man. This is good content right here. Oh, there's that one too. We already got 3, but that's a good one too. Will Gallant make the team better? It almost seems like it'd be like a huge surprise if they don't get better with, like, it would be catastrophic surprise if they don't get better with Gallant after what he's done in his career so far. Like, when you say, oh, Fox reminds you of Leach, did you say? Is that who you're talking about? Oh, yeah. He does remind me of Leach, but I actually think he might be better than Leach. I think he handles himself physically maybe better than Leach. Like, I actually think he might be better. He kind of... But I get you for sure. All right, next. I guess it's going to be the Islanders now. And they got some huge questions after all their movement and stuff like that. But I see what you mean, though. He has that same sort of... A lot of similarities to Leach, for sure. It's a good call, dude. Good call, for sure. New York Islanders. Where the heck are the Islanders? They got to be like... Oh, they have no cap room anymore. That's right. Yeah. Will Barzal reach? I doubt it. That would be a big... Oh, there's a good one, Hajin. Islanders. Will Sorokin surpass Varlamov? And I think he could very well do it. How will Parise do? How will Chara do? You don't think the Islanders will win their division? I don't want to do the win the division ones because we're going to be doing the predictions, standings predictions together. So I want to leave those ones kind of out of it, but how long can Chara play for? Yeah. I have a feeling Parise is going to do really good with the Islanders. I think so. I think it was just an awkward situation in Minnesota. And now he's going to have some new life. But okay. I think Chara's going to be there 5-6. I really do. I mean, they don't really all have all that much depth on their roster there, as far as defense is concerned. Those are good ones, guys. Those are awesome. I guess the other one would be, can Palmieri have a rebound? But we kind of did that in our rebound video too. So I might not get this video done till Monday, so you know. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, and he got traded in a brutal trade. My gosh, Chara is like so fortunate. Like he's been given everything. He gets to be like the 6'8" defenseman that can skate and stuff like that. Like first of all, he's gifted that as a human when he's born. Then he goes to an Islanders team that's an absolute crap show. And was it Milbury? Wasn't it Milbury that made that trade? Mad Mike freaking goes off and for some reason thinks Yashin is the second coming of Gretzky and throws out Chara in the first, which ends up being Spezza. And he gets to go to an Ottawa team that is very competitive. And then when Ottawa looks like they might end up being poopty for a while, they, instead of trading Redden, they trade Chara to Boston, where he goes into the most, I believe, could be considered now the getting to the point of one of the most storied franchises there is and most successful franchises there is, certainly of the last 15, 20 years. Like, that guy just got so freaking fortunate everywhere step of the way, wins a bunch of cups, and then gets to go back and like remind the Islanders for the next couple of years about why he left. That's pretty cool. Yeah, Chara got traded to the Senators with what turned out to be Jason Spezza for Alexei Yashin. Crazy. Okay, what are we on now? New York Islanders. Are we on P now, or am I missing somebody here? You know how I do that. I got to do it again. Well, I mean, that's kind of a bad player. He had tons of talent coming out of his yin yang, but I mean, I don't greedy. I mean, I don't bemoan somebody for thinking that they're that, but you got to live up. He never did live up to the contract. Let's just say, and I think he was capable of living up to that contract, but he was highfalutin, opera going. He wasn't a guy that you want to build your team around. He wasn't a team guy. He never was going to be that. It was just bad move, man. Ottawa. Okay, Ottawa, right. Ottawa. All right, now I had some conversations with Ottawa Senators fans after I posted the bounce back player things, and a lot of those Ottawa Senator guys, they think that Murray's going to play well this year. I think that's really the biggest question with Ottawa, isn't it? Like, if Murray doesn't play well, it doesn't matter. Unless, one of them have to. Gustafsson or Murray, one of them has got to play well, I would say. You bet. I know they got a new goaltending coach. Murray or Olsen play well enough. Well, the idea is that they got a new goaltending coach. He played better in the second half last year. Well, that's what I said. I said, John, the reason why I haven't pissed you off or anybody else here is because all the people that are here don't mind people having an opinion and they're okay. You know what I mean? Like, you guys can say whatever you want on here. But if people are going to get butthurt because I say stuff about players or blah, 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 or whatever, then they're probably not going to like it on here. I'm not a guy that, and I don't mind. That's why I say when on my stream, I don't want anybody deleted off the stream. Because I want people to say whatever the heck they want. Because I'm going to say whatever I want. So it wouldn't be very good of me to not let other people say whatever they want. So you can say whatever you want. And a lot of people maybe don't like that or whatever. I don't know. But amount and term for Brady Tkachuk. If it's up to me, if $9 million a year for 8 will do it, I would have already done it. Brady Tkachuk, I know he hasn't put up like the huge points yet, but for his age, he has done very, very well. The guy's a 70, probably 80 point a game player that is just a beast and exactly the guy you need to win cups. Like, Brady Tkachuk is if you could build a player to win cups with, Brady Tkachuk would be somewhere around what it would be. Jonathan Toews, Brady Tkachuk, guys like that, they're just so invaluable. I mean, I would give him 9 for 8 and just get it over with right now. Like, I would not be screwing around with a guy like Brady Tkachuk. That's me personally. But I'm hearing they're offering 8 for 8. And I don't know if it's term or what it is, and I don't know. We'll find out. That seems to be their final offer. And then he's got to take it or leave it. And like maybe with whatever it is, he's not too happy about it either. So we'll see what it ends up being. Oh my gosh, no. I don't think Brady Tkachuk is overrated. You might be able to say Matthew is a little bit, but Matthew maybe, but not Brady. They're more than decent, man. You win cups with Brady Tkachuks. Brady Tkachuk will win cups. No doubt about it. As long as you've got an above average team, a very good team with Brady Tkachuk, he increases the chances of you winning a cup by quite a bit. It's just so intense. I freaking love him. I love him. I love him. I love him. But how will Tkachuk do? How will Tkachuk do? Matthews is overrated by Brady only by Perlo. Okay. Well, I mean, let's take a look at it. We can take some time here. Let's look at how overrated these guys are. I mean, Matthew has hasn't he put up almost a point a game season already in his career? We'll look up Calgary. He's had to do everything for that Flames team, man. He's been like their only muscle. Matthew Tkachuk. He had 61 points in 69 games 2 years ago. He had 43 points in 56 games last year, and that was considered a bad year. And he's already had a 30-goal season, all at the age of 23 years old. So I don't know, that's pretty spectacular if you ask me. How many players have done that? And that's on a team that is really not very good. So, yeah, I'd take Matthew Tkachuk all day, man. Yeah, we already got Matt Murray. How will Matt Murray do? Is that right, Mercer? You overrate everybody on your fantasy team? Yeah, I don't know. I think that's pretty fantastic numbers as far as I'm concerned. Yes, I think Brady is better than Matthew. Matthew says that Brady's better than Matthew. Brady's got more of an offensive upside than Matthew. Let's go back to you could even make a pretty good case that Ottawa's team is worse than Calgary's team is from the time that Tkachuk has been there. I already have Ottawa up here. What am I doing? Yeah, 36 points in 56 games last year. And he's basically has not had a centerman to play with so far. I think, I know you talk to Ottawa Senators fans, and they think Norris is the second coming or something. I think Brady Tkachuk made Norris look good. At least with Matthew Tkachuk. Matthew Tkachuk has had some centermen to play with in his time that he's been there. And he's had a little more depth. Calgary's team wasn't great, but it was better than Ottawa's. So, give him time. I think he's going to rock it. Yeah, I think he's got more offensive upside. It's just it hasn't been able to come. It hasn't come up on the score sheet because of being on a really bad team. I mean, you got to take that into consideration. But I love the guy. Love the guy. Oh man. So we got how will Tkachuk do? Okay, that's good. I think we got enough from Ottawa. You think? Well, see, Mercer is the one that wins all the when we do our winners and losers and all that stuff like that. So he might know what he's. Yeah, is the defense ready yet? Is the defense ready yet? And I agree. I don't think the defense is ready. It's going to be. It'll surprise me if the defense does well this year. They're still pretty green. They haven't really brought in anybody of significance. Like the veterans they bring in are pretty meh. So I don't see Ottawa making it this year. I don't. I mean I know their second half was fantastic last year, but I just don't see it. But I think Brady Tkachuk's going to do crazy good, and Stützle too. Stützle and Brady Tkachuk. Now we got to be on to New York, right? Sorry, we got to get on to Philadelphia. Pittsburgh, H-I-J-H. Philadelphia now, right? Philly next. Well, it's the biggest question of all questions there. By the way, I just did... I did a show. I did Hockey Writers Inc. I filled in for Lance. And I did a show with Yariv from Flyers Nitty Gritty there. Both yesterday I did them. So you might want to check those out. Flyers Nitty Gritty, and that's the biggest question. That's almost the only question, but there's lots of questions. But how will Carter Hart do? That's really the biggest. Martin Jones, yeah. We talked about that too. They're rolling the dice huge that his old goaltender coach can get him back on track again. They have his Kim somebody, or was it? I don't know if it's a girl. Maybe it's a goaltending coach. Anyways, that he had in the AHL, and they're banking that this goaltending coach can get him back on track again. But yeah. Will Frost succeed with injuries? With injuries, yeah. That's going to be huge right now. With Yeah, will defense. And normally I would say like that's too general. But Ristolainen and Carter Hart, new additions. How will new additions gel? Which when I'm doing the video, I'll talk about like horrific defense from last year and Ristolainen and Ellis. I mean, there's just so much change in that lineup that probably needed to be done. Atkinson and Will AV get fired. If they have a crappy year next year, I think that's definitely AV is gone. TK needs a better year, yes. Yeah, I will say that. I'll say, will the new additions gel? And with that, I'll talk about, will the defense improve overall? Goaltending, everything. Like, everything has to improve about that Philadelphia Flyers defense. TK definitely needs a better year. There is so much. Will Lindholm be able to get, now this is his second year without cancer. Is he going to come back and be better than he was last year? Because he wasn't good. Chuck Fletcher won't get fired. I think it would absolutely have to be a diabolical disaster for Chuck Fletcher to get fired, I think. Undoubtedly. Will the Flyers? Yes, they will. I think a better question would be, will Philadelphia Flyers fans boo every single game? Like, is there a game where the Philadelphia Flyers fans won't boo? Would probably be a better question. I think the Philadelphia Flyers fans, it's become so common there, they just boo just 'cause, and then just laugh about it. It's become kind of a joke in the organization. They boo so much that players don't even hear it anymore. That will not happen. I would bet on that all day long. It's Gritty's birthday. Oh, okay. Will Gritty get arrested? How many, what's Gritty now? Like 2.5 in Gritty years? Never, Kyle. No. I know they could have the players that the Arizona Coyotes have right now, and CL would still bet. It's like, oh, I didn't know if I told you guys, but my birthday was September 12th. I don't know if I told you guys or not, but 3 Earth years. Yeah, if they ever get to the point where they have a roster as bad as Arizona's, CL will be just standing outside of Broad Street, getting money from people and then betting on the Philadelphia Flyers again. And like maybe 7 times a year. On one of those games, he's going to get like 4-1 odds, and he'll be like, woo! And then be broke in a matter of no time. Yeah, I didn't tell you guys it was my birthday. Oh, okay. I often don't. I forget about my birthday. Thank y'all. Spare change, yeah. Spare change so I can bet on the Philadelphia Flyers. Flames just signed a defenseman. Like, having Weichel on here, like, what is he? He's like the my insider, man. I gotta get one of those things where it goes like the news thingamajigger. We just have news. We're off to John Weichel. He is going to give us the news of the day that happened like 30 seconds ago. And which defenseman are you referring to? Is this something that happened a long time ago, or is this something that happened right now? I don't see it on hockey rumors yet, so. Anyways, okay, let's get to the Pittsburgh Penguins. Pittsburgh Penguins. Pittsburgh Penguins. Biggest questions about the Pittsburgh Penguins. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you had me confused because I thought you were talking about the Minnesota Foligno. I thought you were talking about his brother. Oh yeah, because it was so sure everybody knew he was that Foligno was in. I thought you were talking about Marcus Foligno, and who fills in for that's going to be for Malkin. Bluger is set up as the second line center now. If they can frickin' it's going to be Carter, Bluger, Rodriguez, and Lafferty as the centers until Crosby and or Malkin come back. If this team makes the playoffs, for sure Sullivan's got to get Coach of the Year. For sure. Just already have a good season, right? That is the most intriguing thing, because after that dumpster fire of the playoffs, it's like watching a car accident all over again. Oh yeah, you're looking at that because you're an LA Kings fan. How many times will the Penguins fans cry this year? I think quite a bit, because I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. If what are they going to do if Pittsburgh doesn't make the playoffs? A lot of fans there's a lot of Pittsburgh Penguins fans that probably don't even know what it feels like for their team to not make the playoffs. Oh, I guess I better look it up because it kind of went dry here for a second. There isn't a lot to ask because I think everybody looks at their roster and goes, they're not going to make the playoffs. Like, the biggest question is, yeah, how will the fans handle them not making the playoffs? Besides that, those are the two biggest questions. Tristan Jarry or maybe will Malkin play? I mean, it's getting to the point where you kind of wonder if Malkin will ever be okay again. Gary Bev. I don't know. It was a long time ago. When was the last time the Penguins missed the playoffs? (2002). The last time the Penguins missed the playoffs was 2002. Can Penguins fly? Yeah. 12 years ago. So like 2002. No, longer than 12 years ago. What's going on? That can't be right. That can't be right. It had to be 2012. That can't be right. Yeah, 2002. So that wasn't 12 years ago. That can't be right. It says 11 seasons. That can't be right. That's not right. Because the record was 1991 to 2002. So that can't be right. When's the last time they made it? Oh, you know what? I just thought of something. 2006. I just thought of something. Actually, in 2020, they didn't make the playoffs officially, right? Because they got a wild card or whatever. (2006). So yeah, not 2002. But officially, it looks like they didn't count the 2020 season as them making the playoffs, which is kind of stupid. But if they would have beat Montreal, then they would have made the playoffs. So actually, the streak is kind of over with. If it wasn't for that, though, it would have been 2006, 2016. It would have been a lot of years. Yeah, I know your conspiracy that Bettman wants to make sure that. Okay, so we got to go on to the next one because we got a half an hour here. We got quite a few more to go yet. We're only in the S's yet, and we got a half an hour, so we better get going here. San Jose Sharks. Oh, God. Oh, God. San Jose Sharks. Will Kane go to jail? That's pretty sad when the biggest question you have is not even really hockey related, except for the fact that it's one of your players. So many questions. Sharks. Will Kane get arrested? Will Kane return? How will Reimer influence the Sharks? This is the burning question of the San Jose Sharks. Will Kane get arrested or return? That's got to be the biggest question. Forget about the fact, let's say they clear him, he doesn't get caught for anything and all that kind of stuff like that. Forget about all that. The fact that his players don't want to go, why Wilson get arrested? Why? The fact that the players don't want him back, you can't come back. Like, when you got players publicly saying, we don't want to come back if Kane is back, like, you can't have him back. There's no way. Like, you just tell him to stay home and we'll figure out what's going on or whatever. I don't know. You can't buy him out. Like, they are so screwed there. Will Ryan. Look, I'm a gambling man. Because he murdered the franchise. Yeah. Will Hurdle get traded? Get back to hockey here. Will Hurdle get traded? Apparently he will. He wants out too. Will the Sharks need a bigger boat? Will the Sharks not be last in the division? I think they won't be, actually. I still think that... Oh, in the division. Oh, yeah, that'll be close. I think with the different energy, if Kane doesn't come back, they might not be too bad. Will Hill be... But... I mean, it really depends on if Hill can be a number one or not. I mean, that's the other thing is they traded Jones away and they brought in a goaltender that has a ton of question marks on him for a number one. Well, it's impossible. I talked to San Jose Sharks fans. They're embarrassed, man. Like, they They say worse things than anything you could say. They're totally embarrassed for their franchise. It's really sad to listen to them. They sound so depressed. Yeah, they're so embarrassed there. Yeah, but how do you rebuild? That's the thing. I think, yeah, like you got to let Hurdle go. You got to trade Meyer away, but you're not going to trade all these old guys. There's no way you're trading Carlson, Vlasic, uh, Burns. Not likely you're going to be able to trade Burns. So, yeah, they have a great fan base. You're so absolutely, Hajin. They've got a solid fan base with a lot of pride there in San Jose, and they are pissed. Like, it's not even mad anymore. Like, now it's just they're embarrassed. They really are embarrassed. It's too bad. I hope they do win the lottery. The San Jose Sharks, like, just to bail them out. But and the poor guy, it's right, would have to go to San Jose. Ugh. Eek. But for San Jose's purposes, it might be the only thing that could save him right now. Norris, yeah. Wow, imagine that. Norris, Stutzla, Donskoy, and Braun. Okay. Yeah, if Ottawa didn't trade, if they didn't trade for Carlson, it's possible that they don't take Norris. But I get your point, though. I get your point. They could have a very solid team right now if they didn't do that Carlson trade. And ugly, ugly, ugly. And I talked to San Jose fans, and they swear up and down that their owner did not meddle in that was Wilson, all Wilson. So, yeah, Pavelski, because they traded Pavelski to pay Carlson. He didn't want to leave. They weren't able to pay Pavelski what Pavelski wanted, and the belief is, and it's very possible that the reason why they couldn't is because they paid Carlson. No, Braun was not very good last year. Okay, I guess we're on to Seattle now, right? I don't know. Leonard, I mean, they don't really have anybody. I guess they got cap room if Kane gets arrested, so they could sign Hurdle. Maybe Hurdle will stay there if Kane's not coming back. I don't know, but I think Hurdle's just pissed off at the whole situation there. I think he wants out. Seattle is next. Okay. There's a lot of questions. I mean, they're all new teams, so. But how will Grubauer do is a fair one because he's coming from a team that had the best defense in the league to a team that, I mean, their best attribute is defense, but are they going to be the best defense in the league? No. Who will become I don't think any. Is Hackstall an NHL head coach? All right, I'll write it down. The most intriguing thing for me, oh, Appleton is, yeah, Susie, Appleton, like, oh, how are they going to gel together? The bit one, like, all those ones are very good. Like, how much offensive upside does Appleton actually have? Can Susie play a top 4 role? Is he as good as I think he is? Because I think he can. And what was I going to say? Oh, Dunn. Can Dunn bounce back from just an absolutely horrible year for whatever he did in St. Louis there to piss off Berube? Because that was brutal. I guess the thing is, like, will the team gel? That's the interesting thing about the, like, how about Tanev? How's Tanev going to do in that situation? No. I don't think they will. In fact, I think the exact opposite. I think guys like Donskoy and a few other guys are going to get traded at the deadline for picks. I think his whole, I have a feeling that France's whole angle here on picking these players is that they all have value at the deadline. A lot of them have value at the will have value at the deadline. Yeah, my thinking is that they're going my thinking is that they got a lot of players that'll be. I honestly think the worst thing that could happen for Seattle is for them to be in the playoff race. And it's kind of unfortunate that they're in such a weak division. It would be better if they were in a division with with Arizona there, where they really don't have much of a chance. And then they could trade those players like Eberle and Donskoy and stuff for picks, and then pick up some guys to fill those spots. Next year, rinse and repeat and keep on doing that until you got a great team. That's kind of what I would do, and I think that's the way Francis is going to go, but we'll see if that's what he does or not. I think they're too good to get Shane Wright. That's the problem. Unless they get the lotto. I mean, I'm pretty positive they're going to miss the playoffs. So they could still win the lotto, I guess. Yeah, great years to come in for the 2022-23 draft. For sure. 2 super strong drafts. Okay, we got 20 minutes and we got a lot of teams to do here, so let me bring up Seattle. And next, the St. Louis Blues. Shane Wright to the Ottawa Senators. I think it could be. I mean, I'm pretty sure Ottawa will miss the playoffs, but I mean, it can happen. Shane Wright would be, and that would definitely, that franchise would be well on its way then if they got Shane Wright for sure. Ottawa would be well on its way if they got Shane Wright. Next, St. Louis Blues. And As you know, I'm not a huge fan of this team. Oh, yeah. What's happening to Tarasenko? How will Tarasenko do? That's got to be the biggest one, right? Buchnevich. Yeah, that's an interesting one with Buchnevich because he was always in the doghouse with, what, 2 or 3 different coaches in New York. And I don't know why, but he seemed to be in the doghouse a lot. So that's, but when you're talking about different coaches too, yeah, I think that's the last one. Binnington all day. Will Binnington find consistency? Hey, Bill, how you doing, man? Nice. Thanks for coming in. Woo! Bill T is in the house. Bill T is in the house. How you doing, bud? We're doing questions for every team. We're at St. Louis Blues now. I did the video for our last one, but I haven't posted. I'll probably try to post it tonight or tomorrow. But so thanks for coming in, man. We're getting so many people. It's getting hockey season now. We're starting to get the hockey people in here. Loving it. Loving it. It's good. So that's St. Louis. St. Louis, I don't know why. It never really excites me, that team. The Tampa Bay Lightning. The Tampa Bay Lightning. Who will get injured this year? Will Berube get fired? He could. I did Perlo Dance, yes. Yeah, assuming he won the Vezina last year, which he did not. But I think you're trying to kind of point to the fact that he should have. Is that what you're doing there, Mercer? Will Vasilevsky be robbed of the Vezina 2 years in a row? He should have won the Vezina last year. He was the best goaltender for sure. Will they win? Yeah, will they do it again? Will Tampa three-peat? That's really the biggest question. Well, they weren't great in the regular season, so last year. They weren't stupendous in the regular season. But I think another big one is how will Perry affect the team? Perry and Maroon together is just insane. Perry and Maroon on the same team. That was going to be like such an annoying team to play against. Oh my God. Like if even Bellamar, yeah. Who's going to take over that center spot? Cirelli. That's kind of the big one too. Will Cirelli step it up? And will Elliott be better than... Will Elliott be better than McElhaney? If you just saw the way I wrote McElhaney, you'd laugh your ass off. It's funny. Toronto Maple Leafs, Weichel. There you go. Your Toronto Maple Leafs. We're at the Toronto Maple Leafs now. And Macklemore. I didn't even spell it. I just kind of wiggled it around. I just sort of squiggled it. Just put an M in so I know that it was McElhaney. I didn't even bother. I had to check that. I had to check his name all year last year. It bugged me. The Leafs. Yeah. How many goals will Matthews get? That's a fair question. How bad will Mrazek be? Now you watch, after me slamming Mrazek over and over and over and over again, he's going to have a career year. You know it. You know it for sure. Yeah, just goaltending situation in general. I'll say Jake Muzzin gets injured again. How will new players do? How will what are they called? Not bargain. How will bargain basement players do? Jake Muzzin gets hurt every year. Yeah, that's a pretty good bet that Jake Muzzin will get hurt. David Ayers, yeah. Well, even then they would call up Hutchinson first, but then maybe Ayers would back him up. Ayers is still playing with Carolina? Is Ayers still on the? Is Ayers still on the payroll for Toronto, or is he on the payroll for Carolina now? Geez, we only got 9 minutes. Okay, what's next? Vancouver. Vancouver Canucks. Will Pettersson go off? Assuming he gets signed. But apparently they're not far away from signing him right now. Will Pettersson go off? I'm kind of not doing the how many points thing, but that is a pretty interesting one. Will Hoglander beat out Pearson? I think Hoglander will beat out Pearson for sure. I think Hoglander will be in the top 6 with Horvat and Garland. Even though that leaves 2 really small players on that line. I don't know. They're a pretty small team, actually. They've only got 2 players over 6'1" on their team. No, Elias Pettersson's over. But he's not very... He's tall, but he's not very strong. Like, I don't know. He might be bulked up this year, but... he's going to play wing. He's projected to play wing in the NHL. Will they sign Besser? That's a situation that I'm not sure of. Will they sign Besser? Yeah, Demko's going to rock it, but then after that, I don't know. I'm not sold on Halak with that defense. I guess how is Larson going to fit into this? How is Larson going to play coming out of Arizona, right? I mean, he didn't play very good the last 2 years. Okay, let's go to the next one. Washington. No, what am I talking about? LMIQRSTU. The Vegas Golden Knights. How does Patrick play? Yeah, that is going to be a big one. And I don't think it's going to be very good. I don't know. I think Patrick's kind of a spoiled brat kid. I don't think it's going to be very good. Will Lehner be good enough? Yes. Apparently, Lehner lost some weight over the summer. They were talking. He had a. I don't think he's going to be very good. Yeah. Will Lehner be good enough? Apparently, he lost a bunch of weight over the summer, so he could, be a little more fit for number one role. And he said that his wife likes that he lost the weight. So, but we'll see how he does. It's the first time he's really been a true number one. And Dadonov. Basically, who will be the center? Who will play center? I heard they're going to try Dadonov up the middle. Will the Vegas realize they have a shit coach? Well, if they do, you can be sure his shit will be fired faster than he would ever possibly imagine. Like pretty much wherever he is at that moment. Because that seems to be their MO. Like they when they do something, they do it now. And they don't care who cares. They don't care who cares or what people think about their decision. That is for sure. Yeah. Okay, the Washington Capitals. Washington Capitals. Yeah, that one's a fair one. Will Ovi hit 50 again? Will Kuznetsov trade his Coke straw in for a hockey stick? My answer to that is not likely. I'm not a Vanacek fan. Or Samsonov. Will the goaltending be okay? I'll say it nicer. How will Kuznetsov do? Yeah. Well, I got to throw that in. Okay, let's do the last one, and I got to get out of here. It's the weekend, boys and girls. Come on now. It's the weekend. Winnipeg Jets. Reeves versus Wilson, yeah. Oh, yeah. How will Dubois do is huge. Will Scheifele win the Selke? Yeah. And basically, will that defense be good enough? Like, is the defense ads going to be, will they work? That's a good one. How will Dubois do is like a huge one for here. Who will step up? Yeah, that's the big one. How will they do? Because that's their biggest thing. Dylan and Schmidt, man, they got to be like, they got to work really well together. I got to say, I don't know if I'm a huge fan of Schmidt and Morrissey together. It's a small defense besides Dylan. Morrissey, Schmidt, and Pionk and DeMello are 6 feet, and I think that's being generous on a lot of them there. So tonight, we will have Off the Wall Hockey will be doing his show with Steele. Want to check that out. And I'll do this video probably Monday. I'll have our last video out the way we did this weekend, so watch out for that. And it's getting closer and closer to hockey season, guys. So have a great year. That's my full 42. Thanks for coming in. You guys are awesome. See you Monday. Take care. Okay, bye.